All right, we should totally go with Jeff Kent talking about A-Rod's ass. But I don't think we can use the actual audio because of copyright issues, right?
I don't know. I mean, it might be fair use, but maybe we should just pretend to be Jeff Kent and say it.
Okay. All right. Well, which one of us sounds more like Jeff Kent?
I don't know. I guess we should both just try it and see.
Okay. All right. I like that. I'm going to give it a try here. He slid and rolled his fat ass past the base, the son of a bitch.
Well, that was pretty good.
Thanks.
That's pretty good. I don't know. I think it's a little more nasally.
All right. Let's see.
It's like
Okay.
He slid and rolled his fat ass past the base, the son of a bitch.
Maybe we should just go with the real one.
Yeah, let's just go with the real one. Hit it, Bob.
He slid and rolled his fat ass past the base, the son of a bitch.
Welcome to Giant Cocktails, where the baseball is mid, but the cocktails are elite. Here are your hosts, Ben and Matthew Henry.
Welcome to Giant Cocktails, episode 347. Matthew, Willie Mays had 347 total bases in 1963 when he led the league in WAR with 10.6. He led the league in a stat he didn't even know existed.
Exactly. You got robbed.
He did. He was an all-star, a Gold Glover, and finished 5th in MVP voting that year. See, if they'd known about WAR, he probably would have won.
I think so. I think that would have been hard to deny.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And what does that say about Willie Mays when you discover a new stat and it says that he was better than we thought he was?
I'm actually going to go look it up. Like, who
the other 4 were.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, this is back in the day when pitchers actually got MVP votes. Sandy Koufax won the MVP that year.
That guy sucked. Okay. Blah, 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 Dodger, blah, blah, blah.
Dick Groat was second. A guy named Hank Aaron was third. And Ron Perinoski was fourth. So 2 Dodgers finished in the top 4.
That's BS. That's Dodger love. That's like that. Just like disgusting and gross. Although Dick Groat, man, should have named my kids that. Dick and Groat.
I'm just looking at the numbers. Hank Aaron should have won. He got robbed.
I'm just amazed that Dick Groat didn't win with a name like that.
Enough with the banter. Let's talk cocktails.
Oh, you just didn't like me saying Dick Groat.
What are you drinking, Ben?
Well, Bob, today I'm drinking a cocktail that I'm calling Dick Groat. No, that's not true. That's not true. Bob, today I'm drinking a cocktail that I'm calling the Naughty Ben. And why is it called the Naughty Ben? And what is in it? Well, you're going to have to wait till the end of the show to find out. But it has something to do with literature, old-time movie stars, and Dungeons and Dragons.
There it is. All right.
What are you drinking, Matthew?
Bob, I'm drinking Humuhumunukunukuapua'a.
First of all, you said that wrong. And second of all, why are you drinking a cocktail named after the state fish of Hawaii? Listeners, no fish were harmed in the making of this cocktail.
No fish were harmed. I'm not drinking a fish.
You said you were drinking a Humuhumunukunukuapua'a.
Easy for you to say.
It is easy for me to say. Who can't say Humuhumunukunukuapua'a?
Humuhumunukunukuapua'a. I had it in practice. Oh, man. All right.
You got halfway through the name and then you panicked.
It's a gin-based tiki drink, okay? There's no fish were harmed in this.
Okay, but it is named after a fish, so okay. I guess we'll find out what. I guess we're never going to find out why it's named after a fish, but we're going to find out what's in it at the end of the episode, right?
Yes, we will.
All right. Anyway, today is Sunday, February 22nd of 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, it brings me great joy to announce to you that the San Francisco Giants went 2-0 since our last episode playing the game of baseball.
Woohoo! Baseball's back, baby.
Yeah, and you know, I don't even care that they won or it wouldn't have mattered to me whether they won or lost. I mean, you know, most of the runs that they scored in both of these games were gifts. So, you know, gifts of the sun gods in Arizona. This is why the D-bags play inside. Like, I guess when the ball goes in the air in Arizona, it just disappears, which makes sense. It's just like a blue sky, no clouds anywhere. But yeah, the Giants are 2-0. Under the Vitello era, they are undefeated. Yeah, undefeated. After they slayed the American League runners-up, the Seattle Mariners. And then dispatched to the Chicago Cubs, Craig Counsell's Chicago Cubs. Yeah. So we're going to talk about those games today. But I'm not supposed to tell you what we're going to talk about because I think last time we said we're not doing segments anymore. We're not doing segments and we're not doing segues, right?
Well, I thought that was just last week. I didn't know that was like from here on out.
Oh, I see. Because last week there were no games. There was no structure.
Right. We were just like, there's so much to talk about. Let's just barf it all out.
Right. Oh, that's gross. Okay, maybe you've had too many Humuhumunukunukuapua'as.
Yes.
Okay.
That would be a reasonable assumption.
Okay. All right. Okay, so we are going to have segments today because we have games now, we have segments, so we have structure, we have something to lean on. Well, the first thing that we're going to talk about today is the games that they played and what we learned from those two games. And how we can now establish that the Giants are or not going to be successful on the basis of these two games.
Yep, it's done. I mean,
it's done. We know everything. There's everything we need to know. Yeah, that's right. Robbie Ray is never going to get an out, but always get outs. And Hayden Birdsong maybe isn't going to have a good season. No, we're going to talk about that. That's not how I feel. Like, everybody's jumping to the wrong conclusion there. And then after that, Matthew, I don't even want to. Okay, well,
we're going to have a debate. We're going to have a debate.
Yeah, we're going to have a debate. We're going to have a debate about the Eldritch Knight, Mr. Bryce Eldridge, and where he's going to be starting the season. And I can just tell you right now, Matthew's wrong. And I'm going to get a tattoo. I'm going to get a tramp stamp that says Fire Matthew. And I don't know. I don't know
Which
why.
is weird because I'm not hired.
Yeah, exactly. You don't get paid. So I don't know. But anyway, but before we get to that, we've got some tidbits. And the first thing that I have to ask you, Matthew, is where were you today in the first inning of the Giants game against the Chicago Cubs? Because I have a strong feeling I know where you were.
I could explain.
Yeah? Was that the first time you've ever lit up, sir? Or were you just trying to hide your nasty habit?
No, but, I figured drinking wasn't enough, that I needed, another vice.
Sure. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Because one vice isn't enough.
And, the heat of Arizona, I need to get out of the sun. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to bring my drink into the bathroom. That's just gross. So while I'm in there, figured I'd go into a stall and just, light up a little bit.
Light up. Okay, Matthew, was it a cigarette you were smoking or was it a doobie? The ganja? The marijuana?
Well, if I was smoking a doobie, that would be highly illegal. And so...
Oh, is it illegal in Arizona?
Well, even if it wasn't, I'm pretty sure you have to do that in the privacy of your own home.
Well, what about the privacy of your own stall in the bathroom?
Okay, yeah, I was smoking a doobie.
Okay. Okay. Well, there you have it, folks. Matthew is the one that set off the alarm at the Giants game today. And that's why
I didn't know it was me. And so I wasn't going to stop till I finished it. Right. I mean,
right.
And so I didn't, once I finally put two and two together that the fire alarm going off was because of me, I put it out. I flushed it.
Sure.
I flushed it. It was just, the little roach at the end was just, there wasn't enough to save anyway. And I
cannot, folks, like, if you need to smoke that badly, you have a problem. Like, this is an addiction. Like, why did you go to the game? To smoke in the bathroom as the game was getting started? No, that's not why you went there, but that's what you were doing. Which you should have known is against the rules. And yet you did it anyway. You got a problem, kid. Got a problem, sir. Clean it up. Matthew.
Yes.
Jeff Kent. Jeff Kent, man. Yeah, I got to tell you, dude, we are talking way more about Jeff Kent in the last few months than I ever thought we would. Like, this guy was about to disappear into the universe, and then the second chance comes along and saves him by the skin of his teeth. And suddenly he's talking to the media. And talking to John and Dwayne like they're old friends, and they just, just chatted all the time.
He was effusive in his praise about how he could listen to them and see the game going on while he was in his truck doing manly truck things.
Well, and that's not wrong. He's not wrong in that regard.
No, but coming from him, I was like, is that the nicest thing he's ever said to anyone? It might be.
It might be. It might be the nicest thing I've ever heard him say. And honestly, I had forgotten what his voice sounded like. And then I was asking myself, did I ever know what his voice sounded like?
No, you did not.
Because he didn't talk to the media. And then also, I'm like, when did he ever listen to John Miller and Dwayne Kuiper? Because, he's on the record years ago having said that he doesn't like baseball, he doesn't watch baseball, and he's not a fan. And that might be a controversial thing for me to point out, except he repeated the same thing today on television when he said, we're not fans.
All we care about is the money.
All we care about is the money. Wow. Jeff Kent has not changed. Jeff Kent has not changed, but you know what? I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. But
I especially loved it when John starts goading him into talking about Barry Bonds.
Yeah, and the A-Rod thing.
just inserting a little, hey, Jeff, tell us a little bit about Barry. You guys were not buds, but you guys
never went to dinner together. That's what he said. And then Jeff says,
Barry and I never went to dinner because he was too cheap to buy.
And he did say it with a chuckle. But
I think
he also believed
meant it.
God, this guy's going to give a speech. And I hope he writes his own. I don't want Dwayne Kuiper and John Miller to write that speech for him.
No. It would be much better if John Miller wrote the speech, for sure.
Yes. I will say this, though. The guy certainly, the guy talked about baseball as if he was a Hall of Famer. I mean, for a guy who's not a fan of baseball, he sure can talk about it, and he sure does know a lot about it. And you know what I also appreciated? The most memorable moment of his life is the worst moment of his life. And honestly, one of the worst moments of my life is the same moment.
Yes.
Which is Game 6 of the 2002 World Series.
Did he say that there's not a day that goes by that he doesn't think of it?
I think it was something like that. Yeah. And it's just
same, Jeff.
Same, Jeff. And then he was at the 2010 World Series, and his wife said, hey, do you want to go tomorrow? And he was like, nah, they're going to win, and I don't want to watch that in person.
Oh.
Wow. Which is why, and what does that tell you? The man is a Giant at heart.
Yes.
And one of the all-time great Giants. And man, I went and looked at his stats again just to remind myself. And it's like, the guy was so pedestrian. And then all of a sudden, boom, he shows up in San Francisco. And he's one of the best to ever do it. Amazing. Jeff Kent. Never change, buddy.
Never change.
All right. Those are our tidbits. Matthew, we played real baseball games, and by we, I mean they. The San
I played some
Francisco
baseball
Giants.
games too.
That's right. Matthew, how many of those games did you watch?
1.1.
1.1. That sounds like 1.0 more than you said originally.
So Saturday, I really wanted to, but I had responsibilities.
Sure.
I had to. I'm a board chair of a very influential and important nonprofit in Sonoma County, and I had a retreat, so I had to go. And so when I got back, there was other things to do. I watched the highlights. Okay, I didn't watch the game.
What I heard you now is that you were at a retreat and then you came home and washed the squash or something.
Well, I watched the highlights because then I had to go to dinner.
Right. Okay. So you're just a little too busy. You're too important to watch the San Francisco Giants.
Life got in the way.
Training.
Life got in the way.
Okay. Well, you missed some interesting things on Saturday then. One of which was our boy Hayden Birdsong, who had a rough outing.
1 out, Ben. That's all he got.
Okay. Yep. He got 1 out.
I watched that highlight.
He walked 2 guys.
Singular. Highlight.
You watched that one highlight? You didn't watch the other highlight after that? There was another highlight during his appearance.
That was a low light. No, not a highlight.
When that masturbator guy.
Yeah. Every time I see that guy's name, man, I'm just...
Everybody. It's everybody.
It's everybody, right?
It's everybody. Yeah. Master Boney hit the grand slam. I was listening to Bill Lasky after the game because I was driving around. And, he was just immediately down on it. It was like, oh, horrible performance and blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, I watched the game. I watched the highlights again after the game. And I was like, this just wasn't as bad as the result, First of all, his fastball looked very good. He was throwing it for strikes. But he just wasn't, he didn't have a put-away pitch. There was a couple really good at-bats against him and a lucky infield grounder for Robles. And then he gave up, he got the 1 out that he got could have been a double play. It was like 2 really softly hit balls, right? They were so softly hit. It was like they were like Tyler Rogers-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other problem that was just bad luck. And then it seemed like his off-speed pitches, he couldn't throw them for strikes. And that was really where the problem was. So there was an issue with the slider, and there was an issue with the changeup. He just couldn't get them to throw for strikes. And then, so what is Master Boney going to look for in that situation? He's going to look for a fastball, and boom, he got it. It was a little bit inside. It was a good swing. And then boom, you're gone. And it's 25 pitches, and you might as well take him out of the game. I don't think this was as bad as everybody says it was.
Okay, well, it's spring training, so let me say that, right? I mean, first game of spring training, this is going to be forgotten very soon, especially if he bounces back and has a good rest of the spring. So let's not bury the poor guy quite yet. What was interesting, because I didn't watch the game, I did read all the articles afterwards, and so because I read them all, I can't remember which person kind of reported this, but that apparently he's working on a cutter. And so what's also the thing is you go to the Baseball Savant page. If he threw some cutters, Baseball Savant didn't recognize them as cutters. So, yeah, it's a bad pitch. Yeah. And he's going to have to work on it. But will be interesting to follow to see if this cutter becomes a thing or an issue or they just drop it altogether because it was pretty bad.
I would agree with that. So, anyway, something to keep an eye on for the rest of the spring. So we'll keep an eye on it. After that, in that same game, one Blade Tidwell made his appearance, a former player for one Tony Vitello.
That's right. And Blade Tidwell was pretty impressive. That was one of the highlights I went back and watched. I watched his inning because I was like, he struck out the side around... he struck out 3 out of the 4 batters he faced. He had 5 swing and misses. He's throwing high 90s, 97, 98. I'm already loving Blade Tidwell, man. Just let's bring him on. I want more Blade Tidwell.
Well, there were some of Tidwell's balls that I thought that Susac wasn't going to catch. He looked a wild, but then, at the same time, he struck out the side, right? And so it is a results-oriented business. I don't know that he looked better in throwing his pitches than Birdsong did.
Got better results, though.
That's true. That is true.
It's not a beauty contest, Ben.
No, that's right. It's a results contest. Take that, new age stats. Anyway. I don't know where I'm going with that. Caleb Killian.
So I think I've been on record, Ben, as saying that I want guys that throw heat. I just want to line up a bunch of country hard throwing guys and just let them go. And Caleb Killian, who I remind you was traded for Bryant. He was traded for Chris Bryant. And then found his way back to the promised land, Ben, and hit 99. He had the hardest throw of the day on Saturday. And so give me more of that. Like, I would love to see a Caleb Killian success story coming out of spring training.
We got a couple guys like that. They were former Giants, and they have returned to the nest. And now could finally, find their full wings here back as San Francisco Giants. Gregory Santos, another one of those guys. Okay, well, so a guy we haven't seen yet. Did he appear in a game? I
don't think so. But he's been like there's been articles written on the fact that his velocity is up this spring.
I'll believe it when I see it. Let's get him into a game. Carson Seymour pitched today, Sunday, as we record this podcast.
Carson Seymour Butts?
Yes. Seymour Butts was, and he was quite good. And had the good results. Who else had good results, though? And I think short of Cornish kind of shows you what a fickle and odd sport baseball is.
Robbie Ray.
Ray. Robbie Ray did not retire a single batter today, and yet got 3 outs and escaped from the inning without giving up a run.
That's because he knows how to do the voodoo.
That's right. That's exactly right. You are exactly right. Yes. Yes, and he stole it from Hayden Birdsong, and then that's why Hayden Birdsong had such a horrible outing, and then the next day that's what happens to Robbie Ray, and the world was such a fritz. Some guy just went crazy and started smoking in the bathroom, and then Robbie Ray just pitches through that, and then just the black magic makes that poor kid just step off third base, and Sean Miller calls him a bonehead, and it's just. What is Robbie? How does he? It's amazing. It's amazing. That was one of the weirdest plays I've ever seen. Usually the Giants haven't turned a triple play in regular season since 2008. 18 years ago.
Wow.
I don't know if they've done it in spring training in the interim, perhaps, but
Well, it certainly seemed like a rare spring training game because those base runners for the Cubs were all over the place,
I think it was only
places
one.
They shouldn't be. Yeah.
One base runner made 2 mistakes.
Well, I don't know. I think the guy that hit the ball also maybe got a little too aggressive.
So that was Suzuki.
Conceivably they could have had bases loaded with no outs.
Well, no. I mean, what they should have had was runners at first and second with a run in. Right? If Suzuki doesn't go to second,
right?
Devers cut the ball off because Suzuki was going.
Yeah.
Right? And they were like, "Nah, we're not going to get Shaw." Except Shaw didn't know that. So he went back to third.
Shaw also didn't get a good read off the bat either. So,
Clearly. Yeah. Clearly, but then what's his name? The Bregman, the third base guy. The guy that took Rafael Devers' job in Boston.
Do you think they had a little hug it out before the game?
I hope so.
I hope so too.
I hope they just had a good laugh at the Boston Red Sox.
How about the Red Sox? Huh?
Anyway, I mean, and then's the breaks, right? what I loved about that is Adames just kind of gives the ball to Chapman, because they're throwing it around the thing, but he just hands it to there, and then Chapman's just watching, and then he sees them. Third base is empty, and the camera cuts away at this point. But you see Chapman just before the camera cuts away. He takes a step towards third base, and he's looking out. He's like, "I'm gonna tag somebody."
Because nobody's standing on third.
Nobody's standing on third. Somebody should be on third. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. But yeah, spring training. So anyway, it's good to see that Robbie Ray hasn't lost his magic touch. I hope that it was taken away from the Cubs and not from the Giants players, but I guess that will remain to be seen.
Well, I got to tell you that, like, just watching the highlights of game one and game two, base running is a skill that I guess needs to be practiced, because there's been a lot of bad base running the first couple of games. And
no, it's definitely a skill that needs to be practiced.
One of the guys that got thrown out at home today, I think it might have been when Jung-Hoo Lee, right fielder Jung-Hoo Lee with his cannon arm.
Yeah, well, they threw two guys. Yeah, they threw two guys out at home.
Yeah, and Jung, but when I watched the replay or the live shot, I've never seen a runner from second base rig like he was running a 400 meters coming into the plate.
Folks, for those of you who don't know running, rig means you have run out of stamina. And your muscles, your legs just start to stop cooperating. It's not quite bonking, which is when you see a guy at the end of a long-distance race and they're crawling. That guy bonked. Okay?
No, rigging is rigor mortis. Like, you are stiffening up.
Yeah, it looks like they've been shot in the back, right? And so they shot in the back, so they stand up real straight, and then they just start to move as if they're running through syrup. That's rigging. Yeah, and if you're rigging on a run from second base to home, that's 180 feet. You need to do more wind sprints in the outfield.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. I mean, it's early. But I will say this. The arms in the outfield look real good. So,
right?
Yeah. So that defense upgrade already showing itself, and we know that JHL has a good arm. And so I mean, and right field, especially in Oracle, you need a good arm. Yes. And because I think it's going to tempt people to run, even though that he's out there and his reputation is that he's a good arm. He's going to get some guys. He's going to get some guys from there. So I think that was a good first look at the outfield defense. Yes, and Matthew is giving me the.
I'm challenging the call.
He's challenging the call.
I'm tapping my head, folks.
Yeah, I did. So we saw our first ABS call of the spring for the Giants on Saturday, when one Daniel Susak called for it and got it correct. The ball had nicked the strike zone. I think it was in the second inning for Tidwell, I believe, but it could have been in the third inning. So that was the first successful challenge by the Giants in the spring. And yes, I know they did it last year, but still, this is the first year that they're doing it for real. And what I had heard was that in general, players want the catchers to make this call, and they generally want to save it for defense, not for offense, unless it's egregious. Like, that's my feeling.
Yeah.
Like, that's the initial strategy that teams are coming up with. Well, nobody told Mr. Peychaud. Okay, because when Mr. Peychaud was pitching in his inning, he threw a ball.
Yeah, I don't know how he thought that was a strike.
The only thing I can think of, it's two things. One, he really wanted it to be a strike.
Well, that's probably the reason.
The only other thing I can think of is that he falls way off to the first base side of the rubber.
Yeah.
And so that changes his perspective, right? So you got a little parallax issue. And so, when you fall that far away, that ball might look like it's better than it is. And so that's the only thing that I can think of. But what was great, what was really funny to me was there's Peychaud who's been around in the majors for a while, and then there's the Rule 5 draftee receiving the ball, and Peychaud immediately taps his head, and Susac is just violently shaking his head back and forth, just like, no!
No, you
but
just
it's too late.
wasted a challenge.
It's too late. And that thing was like 17 balls outside. Inside, rather. It was embarrassingly bad. It was an embarrassingly bad decision.
We should track the worst ABS challenges of the year. This could be the worst one.
Yeah, well, yeah. The one that I will say was crazy was the one against Adames, and I don't know whether that was Adames who called for it or the pitcher who called for it, but it was less than 1/10 of an inch.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It was a ball by less than 1/10 of an inch.
But
and
you
I don't
can't
know
get
if
any closer than that, I don't think.
No, that's probably the closest because you could barely see it on the graphic. So this is going to be interesting.
It is going to be interesting because I feel like we're going to see Game 7 of World Series and bottom of the ninth, and it's going to come down to 1/10 of an inch. You know,
I mean, imagine the bases are loaded and it's the bottom of the ninth, and
they call strike 3,
and then
the batter taps his helmet.
No, it's a ball in the game.
By
the series
1/10 of an inch. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, baseball. You know what? Here's the thing, though. It was always that way. But before, it was just one man making that decision, and now it's a computer and cameras making that decision. And, you know, I guess the difference is now you can't, there's like nobody can blame the umpire. Now they're just going to blame, the deep state or something. I don't know. They're going to
blame AI.
They're going to blame AI, or they're going to blame Sam Altman or something. And I'm not saying it's not his fault, but I'm just saying
it's probably his fault some way.
Sure, that guy doesn't know jack about anything. He's a money dude. Whatever. He's not the real villain.
All right, Ben.
Yes.
Stop beating around the bush. It's time.
What are you talking about?
Got to debate.
Okay. So one thing that I do want to bring up.
Okay.
And this is not a segue. We're already into segment 2. Okay. But since you've violently pushed us in here, I do want to mention that, one Bryce Eldridge, I think so far has had a pretty good spring. He's played one game at first base, one game at DH, and I think he's had a lot of high quality at bats. I'm really liking what I see from that kid. I'm really excited for opening day when he is starting DH
with
position.
the River Cats. Yeah, right.
Say what now?
When he's starting for the River Cats.
All right. Say what you need to say.
Okay. I'm going to walk you through the roster projections, first of all.
Okay. Okay, sure.
So there's 13 offensive positions. Okay. And without a DH, you've got 8 slots already taken up, right? So you've got Chapman at third, Adames at short, Devers at first, Arise at second, Bailey behind the plate, right?
Okay.
Then you've got Ramos in left, Jung-Hoo Lee in right, and Bader in center.
Yep, got it.
Okay, so that's 8 guys right there. Mm-hmm. And then you've got a backup catcher.
Sure.
Okay. So backup catcher, that's your 9th spot there. I don't know if it's Susac or Rodriguez, but it's going to be one of them.
Yeah, and only one of them.
Yep. So there's 9. Then you've got your backup outfielders. Now, generally, the Giants carry 2 backup outfielders.
As do most teams.
And in this case, yeah, they're going to need to, because you need someone like Drew Gilbert who can patrol center field. Because I feel like they're going to go all in on the Jung-Hoo Lee and right, like a thing. Like, they're not going to move him to center field when Bader.
No, I agree that JHL is going to be the right fielder. Yes.
And so Gilbert is the center fielder when Bader sits. He's also a lefty when Bader's a righty. So that complements right there. And then you got Gerard Encarnacion.
Gerard. Yes.
And Gerard is an outfielder / first baseman / DH who bats right when you've got Devers, and who bats left at first base. And he doesn't have any options left.
Nope.
Which I think is a really important thing.
Right. Which means they either have to release him or, DFA him, or put him on the 26 man. Yeah.
Yeah. So now there's your outfielders. So then you switch to infielders. right? So that's what? So that's 9. Then you got 10, 11. So now you got 11, right? You got 11 spots taken up.
Okay.
Now you got to go to your backup infielders.
Sure.
Okay. Now there's 2 schools of thought here, and I'm sure you're going to give me the second one, but in my one, you can't just have one backup infielder. Okay. Now, sure, Casey Schmidt has proven that he can play all 4 infield positions. He also bats right-handed when you know you've got Arise at second and Devers at first.
Right.
So that are left-handed. So he complements them. But I also feel like Christian Koss is also going to make the team. I just feel like you've got, Koss can also play the outfield, and you're going to need 2 backup infielders. The Giants usually have someone like that. Before it was like Wilmer and some middle infielder, and now I feel like it's going to be Casey Schmidt or Koss. And that leaves 13. So no room for Mr. Bryce Eldridge. And I think I know that, and also, I mean, I think the other reason that really kind of drives us home is that we know that Buster and the guy are like, they want him to get at bats. They want him to be seasoned. They want him to be truly ready when he comes up. And the fact that they need to keep Gerard Encarnacion and they want to have flexibility in their backup infielders really tells me that they're not going to have Bryce Eldridge on the opening day roster. That's what I'm thinking. That's my thought.
There are so many things wrong with what you just said. And there are so many just obscene, insulting things that you just said that are disgusting. You should be absolutely ashamed of yourself. And you should be ashamed, not of yourself, but for yourself, because you just said some embarrassing things. This just is one of the most disgusting moments on Giant Cocktails. I don't know what is happening right now. This is outrage. Look at the look on Bob's face. Look at the look on Bob's face. He can't even contain himself right now.
I don't get paid enough for this.
God damn it, Bob. Why do you always say that? The correct answer is, are you drunk? It would just hang out there and nobody would know who you were talking to.
Are you drunk?
Well, I was, but until Matthew spoke, and now I'm stone cold sober.
I might be drunk with a Humuhumunukunukuapua'a.
The Humuhumunukunukuapua'a? Yeah, you might be. All right. Okay, let's break this down. Okay, look, you have 5 outfielders, you have 2 catchers, and then you have 6 infielders. That's it. That's your 13 right there, okay? Your 5 outfielders, I don't know who they are. I don't care. Whatever. You want Gerard Encarnacion? You can have him. Fine. We all know that Luis Matos is going to be DFA'd before opening day. We know that. Okay, yeah, that's the way it goes. Them's the breaks, okay? Fine, okay? Then you got Bailey, and I don't know. You want Rule 5 draftee, whatever. I want Camilo's trade guy, whatever. It's going to be neither of those guys. We're both going to be unhappy. Okay?
You think it's going to be Haas?
It's going to be Haas. He's actually looked pretty good in the first 2 games. I got to say, that kid's looked good.
But so have the other catchers, too.
Yeah, I know. But I'm just saying. I don't care. Okay? That's not what this is about. Okay? Then, yeah, you got Devers. You got Arise. You got Adames and Chapman. Yes. Okay? And then, yeah, you do need Casey Schmidt. And that's who it is. Okay? And then your last infielder / DH is going to be your Wilmer. Because Wilmer could not play the middle infield, Matthew. I don't know if you know that, but he couldn't. He sucked. He was a corner infielder and a DH. That's what you're getting out of Eldridge. Okay? What you said was Gerard Encarnacion and Christian Koss are both better than Bryce Eldridge, which is a disgusting and stupid thing to say. Okay? No offense to both of those guys. They're, Gerard's got a lot of potential and he shows a lot of flash when he's not injured. And Christian Koss is a grinder. I get it. But please.
Both of them have had more success than Bryce Eldridge in the major leagues.
That's because they've been given the chance. What? Are you kidding me? You kidding me?
The Giants don't give their guys chances.
Okay, if your logic is the Giants are stupid and do stupid things, then yeah, you win. Of course you're right.
Okay.
But that's
Let's
not
move
what I'm
on.
saying. What should be is that Bryce Eldridge should be the guy over both of those guys. If you
I'm
want
not
to keep
arguing about what should be. I am arguing about what's gonna be.
Okay, well, let me tell you and Stupid Buster Posey what it should be. If you want to keep Koss, then keep him as your extra outfielder. And, I'm sorry, Guerrero is just never will be for the Giants. He'll catch on with somebody else, and then you keep Koss and you keep Eldridge on the roster. Because then Koss can be your fifth outfielder and give you that flexibility, and you have no Encarnacion. Okay? Then that still gives you two right-handed bats on the bench between Koss and Schmidt. Right? Gilbert is your lefty, and then plus you'll still have Eldridge and Devers and whatever. If you need a third baseman in a pinch, Rafael Devers knows how to play third base. Okay? Don't tell the Boston Red Sox that, but he can. And has for the San Francisco Giants, and looked quite fine at it. Is it a thing you would do often? No, but if you needed to do in a pinch, you could. So, it's too cute. You're just trying to save too many things here when you should be putting your best players out there. And what I'm saying is that, you should either leave Koss down in AAA and keep Eldridge, or let Encarnacion and Matos both go and keep Koss and Eldridge. But if Eldridge is the man that's out, just because you need more reps, then why did you call him up last year? Which you did, by the way, too effing late. It's all wrong. It's all wrong. But I hear you. There's a reason that I keep getting these tattoos.
I would like to see Bryce Eldridge on the opening day lineup. I'm not here to tell you that that's the right call. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think that they're going to put him in the minors, and he's going to have to hit his way onto, or there has to be an injury to open up a spot for him.
You know what, Matthew? You know what I don't like about you is all your pessimism. This is you're always like this. You know what? This is spring. We're supposed to be positive. And here's the thing. Hayden Birdsong is the closer, and Bryce Eldridge is going to be the opening day DH.
That would be kind of fun. At least it would make the podcast interesting. Let's do it.
Yeah, it might make the team interesting, too.
It's all about the podcast.
Yeah,
it's all about us, Ben.
Not necessarily good, but it'd make it interesting. No, I mean, you're not wrong. He's going to have to fight. He's going to have a good spring. But I think he's going to have a spring. Last year, they didn't give him a shot in spring, right? He had a couple of days, and then they just sent him down. They sent him back to minor league camp. He's going to be at the major league camp, I think, until they break.
I think so, too. I think they're going to give him every shot to do this.
And, number one, stay healthy. And number two, just be you. And, it's let's face it, you need a DH, and you don't need your first baseman to be great defensively. But what we've seen from him, it's he doesn't make you cringe at first base.
Oh, no.
And so
I think too much has been made of his inexperience at first base, to be honest.
I agree. And also, by the way, he could also be the fifth outfielder, Matthew. He'd shag balls, and that's what Vitello was doing. He's ready. He's ready. That's what I think Vitello was saying is I don't believe in this whole touching every level. Give the guy outfield is easy. Give him a couple of fly balls and he's good. So there. Yeah.
This game's easy, boys. It's easy.
I mean, here's the thing though. It is a tough choice. I like Encarnacion. I like Koss. Right? And I really like the kind of energy that Koss has. And I think Encarnacion, God, if he could just stay healthy and get 100 at-bats,
Yeah.
So it's a quandary. It's a problem.
It is. And I guess my point of bringing it up is that it's just not a sure thing that Bryce Eldridge is going to be making the opening day roster. And people should be prepared for that, because I keep seeing on social media how he's already penciled into the starting lineup and it's already a foregone conclusion. I just don't believe that that's the case.
No, but I think they are going to give him a lot of opportunities this spring. And I think that's why you're going to see him play a lot. And also, the other thing is Devers doesn't need that. Devers should do whatever he feels like he needs.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And then get the rest of the day off, the rest of the time off. And, because Devers is on, Devers doesn't need to prove anything or do anything. It's just about doing what he needs to do to get ready.
Yeah.
Which means between those two positions, it's going to be Eldridge. Right? Maybe occasionally be it Encarnacion at first. Maybe occasionally it'd be Schmidt at first, just to get him.
Well, especially when they do split squad games and things like that.
Yeah, but I mean that's all because Encarnacion might be at first, Schmidt might be at first, right? Like that's why you do that. But otherwise, I think Eldridge is going to play almost every game. Yeah.
Isn't it time for the booze, boys?
Yeah, Bob, it is time for the booze.
What are you drinking, Ben?
Well, Bob, today I'm drinking a cocktail that I'm calling the Naughty Ben. And what is in a Naughty Ben, and why am I calling it that? Well, first let's start with why I'm calling it that. Bob, I've been reading some books recently. I know, yeah, I can read. I've read the entire English canon, Bob. Have you? Yeah, tell me about the spermaceti chapter in Moby Dick. Huh? Yeah.
Are you drunk?
Yes, clearly. Bob, I've been reading some books, and one of the books I've been reading recently is the series called Dungeon Crawler Carl, which is loosely based on Dungeons and Dragons and RPG video games. And at first it seems like it's just a total bubblegum book, but then he starts talking about his history with his dad and his mother who ran away or died or something, and then you realize this is way deeper than it should be. Well, anyway, he's got this ex-girlfriend that just left him for some other dude, and her favorite drink is called the Dirty Shirley. And I decided I wanted to make a cocktail based on the Dirty Shirley, but I wanted to make it a little bit more interesting than that. So I called it the Naughty Ben. And what is in a Naughty Ben? Well, the Naughty Ben has 2 ounces of rum, 1 ounce of grenadine, which you may increase up to 1.5 ounces, depending on your taste. 1/2 ounce of lime juice, which you may also increase up to your taste. And 2 dashes of Peychaud's bitters. You put all of that into a highball with ice. You give it a gentle stir, and then you top it with club soda until the glass is full. And that is how you make a Naughty Ben. It is sort of a twist on the Shirley Temple. And that's what I'm drinking today, Bob. A Naughty Ben.
That's a tasty cocktail.
It's pretty good. And boy, if you have half of one because you're eyeballing the pour and then you drink your second one, but it turns out it's 1.5 of that, and you just top it with just a little bit of club soda, you get super effing drunk, which is where I am right now.
What are you drinking, Matthew?
What kind of rum, by the way? Like funky,
I'm just
Smith
doing
and Cross, what are you doing here?
Oh, whatever the mood calls for. Smith and Cross is funky and interesting. That's going to really dominate the cocktail. I'm doing Planter-Ray 3 stars, which is, just very muted and understated. A Dirty Shirley calls for vodka. But I was like, that's just a grenadine flavored cocktail at that point, and that's fine. Yeah. But I wanted something with a little bit more taste to it. So, but any kind of rum, whatever you want.
Okay. All right. Well, Bob, I'm drinking what is it called now?
A Humuhumunukunukuapua'a.
A Humuhumunukunukuapua'a.
Okay, you keep putting this extra K in there.
I want to add an extra thing at the end. I know.
I don't know why you...
Humuhumunukunukuapua'a.
Apua'a.
Apua'a. All right. Anyway, that's what I'm drinking. What's in a Humuhumunukunukuapua'a?
God damn it.
I thought you'd never ask. It's got 2 ounces of gin. And if you've got a funky gin or a floral gin, this is the time to use it, folks. I had a barrel-aged gin called Hobbs, like, I don't know, Extra or something from Young and Yonder. 100 proof gin. Really, really good. I threw that in there. 3/4 ounces of lemon juice. 3/4 ounces of pineapple juice. A 1/2 ounce of orgeat syrup. And 2 dashes of Peychaud's bitters. You put them with some ice and you give it a hard shake for until the shaker is frosted. Like you want to just shake it hard and cold, okay? And then you're going to dump all the ice in there into a tiki mug or a Collins glass.
A dirty dump?
A dirty dump. You're not doing fresh ice. You're just using that. If you've got crushed ice or pebble ice, then you can go ahead and do that. I find that the regular ice cubes from your refrigerator, if you just shake them really hard, they break up enough to where it's actually fine. And then you're going to garnish it. The garnishes are the fun part, folks, like just cherries and pineapple and edible flowers and as much stuff as you can. Just stuff it all in there for your garnish. Because with a name like Humuhumunukunukuapua'a, that's what you need to do. That's what I'm drinking, Bob.
That's a tasty cocktail.
It's actually really good. Really, really good. Just don't say it. Can't order it anywhere because nobody knows what you're talking about.
The Humuhumunukunukuapua'a looks like it has yellow lips or blue neon lips. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
State fish of Hawaii.
Yeah,
Who
you
knew?
could just totally garnish it with the head of one of those. No, God, no, God.
No, don't garnish it with the head of one of those.
No Humuhumunukunukuapua'as were harmed in the making of Matthew's cocktail or this episode.
And that's a wrap, folks. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back next Monday with more Giants content. If you can't wait that long to get your fix, feel free to reach out to us on the socials, all the places you can find Giant Cocktails. Also, don't forget that you can subscribe to us on YouTube. You can leave us comments on there as well as on Spotify. But most importantly, and I know a lot of you have been thinking to yourself, I really should leave a 5-star review for Giant Cocktails, and you haven't done that yet, you should do that right now. Okay, just go and give us a 5-star review. Write a funny little blurb about how Ben is a drunk idiot, and we'll call it a day. So Ben, it was great talking Giants with you. Until next time, cheers, my friend.
Cheers, Matthew. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye. I didn't really smoke pot in Arizona.
Thank you for listening to the Giant Cocktails Podcast. Until next time, bottoms up.
I'm the drunk idiot, but you can't say Humuhumunukunukuapua'a.
I can't. I tried. So many times. Humuhumunukunukuapua'a.
I figured out why you keep saying it wrong. That last K is from the last nuku. Okay, it's not an extra K that you say again.
See, I don't even know how many Ks I say. I don't know.
Can you say the word humu? And can you say the word...
Humuhumunukunukuapua'a.
Okay, look, yeah. Can you say humu? Can you say nuku? Can you say apua'a?
Yes.
Okay, then you could say the name of this. It's Humuhumunukunukuapua'a.
Humuhumunukunukuapua'a.
There you go. You did it.
That's what I've been saying all along.
Yeah, but you didn't know I could say it, did you?
I did not. And I didn't know you would know that it's some fish from Hawaii. Like, geez, man.
He slid and rolled his fat ass past the base, the son of a bitch.